I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Councilman, thank you very much. Let the records reflect that all council members are present and accounted for this evening. We're going to begin slightly out of order. I'd like to direct everyone's attention to our new Economic Development Director, Jay Mishi, affectionately known to us as Mish. I want him to be able to get to know everybody here. I encourage you to give him a call, shoot him an email. I just want to say, based on the discussions I've had with him in his first week, I'm very excited at what's going to transpire for the city here. So, Mish, I'd like to give you a chance to address the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for making time to meet me. As the mayor said, I do go by Mish for all intents and purposes. I think that's a good thing because I won't be confused with the city attorney, which is an error that I think that everybody would regret. Like the mayor said, last Monday was my first day on the job. My education is in urban planning and political science. My professional experience is in restaurant management. I spent about 20 years doing that. I know I don't look it. But I think that the business background is valuable because it helps me to understand the challenges that business owners face on a more regular basis. And I think that it helps me to sort of guide and support entrepreneurs and even experienced business owners when they look to take advantage of our city's potential. Obviously, the global pandemic has made it difficult to jump off the way that I would have wanted to. But the city staff and the mayor have been really welcoming and helpful to me. My calendar is starting to fill up with meetings with local business owners, county economic development events, and some calls with the Department of Housing and Community Development. I'm also anxious and happy to relieve some of my coworkers of the burdens that they've been bearing since my predecessor retired. I've taken a beautification grant off of the Parks and Rec director's hands. I've taken some financial stuff off of Ms. Stein's hands having to do with the Taneytown record. I'm taking some DHCD stuff off of Mr. Wieprecht's hands on the off chance that he has something else that he can focus on. I am happy to answer any questions you have. I can do it now. Although, again, it's my 6th day, so I might need to get back to you. And then I'm always available in my office extension, or email. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mish. Anyone from council have anything they'd like to jump in and say? Councilor Vigliotti, go ahead.
Just very briefly to say welcome. Look forward to having you with us and looking forward to seeing how things work out in the future. Mish, really welcome and glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Haynes.
Similar vein, I just wanted to say that I'm happy you're here and I'm excited to see what you do. And welcome, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Mayor Pro Tem Foster.
Welcome, Mish. We have an appointment to virtually meet on Friday, so we'll be talking more intensely at that time.
I look forward to it.
All right, Councilman Hale.
Mish, welcome aboard. Thanks for giving Taneytown a shot. You got some big shoes to fill, and we're excited about that for us and for you. And I look forward to talking to you sometime very soon.
Absolutely.
All right, and Councilwoman Fuller.
Yeah, as I say, you can't leave me out. Everybody's already said it, so welcome, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. I hear that you and I share a similar affinity for Christmas decorations. If you visit me in my office, you will see that I have a one-a-day calendar where I tear off a day each day, and it tells me how long is left until Christmas.
Then we are going to get around just fabulously. Look at Bradley.
I love Christmas. I do, but it's also March. So.
Time to start planning, I think.
That's right. That's exactly it. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And Mish, thank you again. Welcome to the Taneytown family. I think we're very fortunate to have you. I know I definitely feel that way. So appreciate it.
To be here. Thank you.
Yep. All right, with that, we're going to move into our approval of the minutes. These are for the February 3rd, February 8th regular meetings and the February 24th budget workshop. I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
All right, we have motion from Councilman Haynes, second from Councilman Vigliotti. Are there any suggestions, amendments, comments on the minutes as presented this evening? All right. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes of the February 3rd and February 8th regular meetings and the February 24th budget workshop, signify with your thumbs up. Anyone opposed? No, we are unanimous. I will now ask the council if they have any conflicts of interest on anything appearing on the agenda this evening. I will add the agenda 2 quick items under new business. One will be I'm going to make a nomination for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. And the other is regarding a letter of support for our state's attorney, Brian DeLeonardo. So knowing those 2 additional items, do you still have no conflicts?
No, sir.
All right. With that, we shall move on. Up for introduction this evening, Ordinance 02-2021. This is the FY 21-22 operating budget. I'll entertain a motion to introduce.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Very good. We have the motion to introduce from Councilman Hale, the second from Mayor Pro Tem Foster. Any discussion on the operating budget as introduced this evening? I believe you saw there were some further changes made to it since Wednesday, if everyone is up to date on that. Okay, with no questions, all in favor of introducing Ordinance 02-2021, fiscal year 22 operating budget, signify with your thumbs up. Any opposition? No, unanimous. All right, we're going to move right into Ordinance 03-2021. This is the FY22 tax rate. Just reminding everyone, for those tuning in from the comfort of their own homes, tax rate is remaining the same for the I'm not sure how many years in a row. Do I have a motion to introduce?
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Very good. Motion from Councilwoman Fuller, second from Mayor Pro Tem Foster. Any discussion on the tax rate as being introduced? All in favor of introducing Ordinance 03-2021, the tax rate, signify with your thumbs up. Any opposition? No. Unanimous again. And finally, under introduction, we have Ordinance 04-2021. This is the FY22 water and sewer rate, again, being unchanged from previous years. I'll entertain a motion to introduce.
So
So
moved.
moved.
And a second, please.
Councilman Haynes?
All right. This is going to, motion was Councilman Haynes, second was Mayor Pro Tem Foster. Councilman Vigliotti is sitting in a corner by himself. Any discussion on the water sewer rate as introduced? All right, all in favor of introducing Ordinance 04-2021, the FY22 water sewer rate, please signify with your thumbs in the upright position. Any opposition? No, we are unanimous in favor. Outstanding. Up for adoption this evening, we do have Ordinance 01-2021. This is a budget amendment. Budget amendment number 1 for this year. I will entertain a motion. Please specify what the motion is.
Motion to approve the budget amendment?
Very good. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Second.
All right. We have motion from Councilman Vigliotti and second from Councilman Hale. Any comments, questions, remarks on the budget amendment? All right. With that, all in favor of adopting Ordinance 01-2021, a budget amendment number 1, signify with your thumbs up. Any opposition? No. Unanimous yet again. Finally, under adoption this evening, we have Resolution 2021-05, our monthly water allocation, this one being for March of 2021. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Very good. We have motion from Councilman Vigliotti, second from Councilwoman Fuller. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of adopting Resolution 2021-05, the monthly water allocation, signify with your thumbs up. And anyone opposed? No, we are unanimous. Very good. With that, I'll throw it over to Mr. Weeprick. Do you have any updates for your city manager report?
Follow up from the discussion at the workshop regarding lighting in the square. We did follow up with State Highway, and nothing has changed since the last time we brought this topic up with them, in that the lighting does meet SHA standards for the pedestrian lighting. They are aware of the one light being out, and they're working to get that corrected. So they basically look at additional pedestrian lighting as a local function. So we certainly can add lights if we wish. Again, there's always, of course, the option of self-help for the businesses or the property owners that are on the square to add additional lighting to the fronts of their buildings as well. So that's kind of where we are right now. And again, just invite anybody downtown to walk around the square and see what you think about the lighting before we do anything really further on it.
Quick question. When you spoke of the light that is out at the square, did they mention they're just going to replace the light bulb inside, or are they going to actually replace with an LED fixture?
A request is in to replace it with an LED fixture. However, it's a leased light, so the immediate fix may be to replace the bulb. Apparently, even small items like replacing or upgrading to LEDs, due to the impact of the pandemic at the state level, basically all expenditures are being reevaluated. So the LED upgrade is in limbo at the moment as the state goes through that exercise.
Okay. When you say a lease light, that is a Potomac, because it's on Potomac Edison's pole?
Right.
Oh.
Much like some of our older street lights are leased and we pay for the power.
Right. Understood. Any questions for Mr. Weeprick on that topic before it continues? Councilman Bigliotti, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Jim, I was wondering if your conversation included anything relating to the timing of the traffic lights.
It did not. You may recall from a couple years ago again that we had conversations on the turn lanes and the timing of the signals, and I did not bring that back up because when it has come up previously, the idea of either a separate pedestrian timing or allowing the pedestrians to start before the lights changed would decrease throughput at the intersection. And it seemed like the paramount concern was to move as many vehicles through the intersection as could be done with each light cycle. So right now the light is functioning at its optimum per getting vehicles through. Certainly changes could be made, but they of course would decrease the number of vehicles that would go through the intersection with each cycle. So there are options, but there are impacts on the traffic flow as a result of introducing any changes to the cycle.
So in your mind, would perhaps, one of I know when residents have reached out to me, there's a concern certainly about the visibility. And while I certainly understand that, SHA has standards that they say that the lighting does meet, requirements that they say the lighting does meet. Is there anything specifically with respect to the crosswalks themselves we can do to make them either more visible or I should say better lit than they are now?
I will revisit that with State Highway. I know we have proposed a number of improvements for crosswalks in years past that were not something SHA was willing to fund, but we can reinitiate that conversation.
I'd be curious if they were interested in allowing somebody to restripe the crosswalks with a more reflective paint. Something that might help draw attention to it in headlights. If they're willing to entertain that, perhaps we can explore that ourselves as well. But of course, if businesses want to put more lighting on their buildings that can help the intersection, that's great. He did mention there is currently one light out that they are working on repairing. So I don't think it'll be twice as much light as what's there now, but it will be hopefully some improvement. Something we can keep working on.
And I'm sorry, Mr. I was just gonna say real quick is did they have, or Jim? Oh wait, out there. Okay, I know somebody dropped out, and I was trying to find out where Jim went. But did they have anything to say about the timeline of getting the light replaced?
No, they did not.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Jim.
Unfortunately, SHA moves at the speed of the state. So, Ms. Weeper, do you have anything additional you'd like to add for us this evening?
No, that was it. Thank you.
All right. Are there any questions from council for Mr. Weeper on his report or the departmental reports? All right. Hearing none, we may open that back up if Mayor Pro Tem Foster is able to join us again. With that, I'm going to go to Mr. Gullo. Do you have any updates on your legal report, sir?
There's nothing to update, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right. Throwing it back to council. Any questions for the city attorney this evening? No? All right. We shall move right along. We have nothing in old business tonight. Under new business, we do have our monthly financial report given to you in your packets. I'll entertain a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on the monthly financial report as presented to you this evening? All right. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the monthly financial reports, signify with your thumbs up. All right. We will list Mayor Pro Tem Foster as abstaining at this point, or absent, I guess is the better word for it.
Mr. Mayor, Diane literally just sent me a text message. She said she's lost her connection and she is trying to get back in.
Great. Hopefully she's able to join us again. We will move along. Accounts payables. I will entertain a motion to approve the accounts payables this evening.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Very good. We do have the motion from Councilman Bigliotti and the second from Councilman Hale. Any discussion on the accounts payables? All right. Hearing none, all in favor signify with your thumbs up. Anyone opposed? No. That is 4 in favor. Next, we have added to us Wednesday evening was the reduction of the construction surety for Meads Crossing. I believe we have all the figures in the packet, or where can I find the figures? Mr. Weeper?
The bottom line figure, the total adjusted surety of $737,519, as noted at the bottom of the Meads Crossing letter.
There it is. Just didn't scroll quite enough yet.
Very good.
All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the reduction of the surety for Meads Crossing.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Very good. We have the motion from Councilman Fuller and the second from Councilman Haynes. Any discussion on the reduction of the surety? Councilman Vigliotti, go ahead.
Just a quick point of order. Do we have to mention the amount in the motion, or simply saying that, because this is the one letter of reduction of surety, we're okay with just saying that much?
I believe we're sufficient with that. The number was stated for the record from Mr. Weeper. So I believe that we are good to go. If you wish to ask the one who made the motion if they want to add it to that, you may do so.
No, just as long as we're covered. But thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. I believe we are covered. Any additional discussion? All right. All in favor of approving the reduction of construction surety for Meads Crossing, signify with your thumbs up. And any opposition? No. And for the record, Mayor Pro Tem Foster has joined us again. With that, I would like to put forward a nomination for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. If you recall, there was a vacancy created in that board, and I worked with Lorena to find a candidate. We did receive 3 applications, And the name that we have settled on is Mr. Jerry Hobbs, and I'd like to put him forward for that position. He's been very active in several of the sports groups and has done a lot of work in the parks as part of those groups. So I ask for the council, if anyone is willing to make a motion to approve that nomination, I would appreciate it.
I'll make the motion to approve.
And a second, please.
Second.
Very good. We have motion from Councilman Hale, second from Mayor Pro Tem Foster. Is there any discussion on the nomination? All right. Hearing none, all in favor of appointing Mr. Jerry Hobbs to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, signify with your thumbs up. Any opposition? That is unanimous. And finally, under new business, I would like on record for the council to approve of the city sending a letter of support for Brian DeLeonardo. As you are aware, he is our state's attorney, and he is seeking a position with the circuit court as a judge. It has been asked of us to provide a letter of support, and I'd like council to approve that letter. And then with that, I would like to ask Councilman Vigliotti draft that letter on our behalf. Is there a motion from the council to do so?
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Everyone's in on this one. I love it. All right, we're going to go. Councilman Vigliotti had the motion, and Councilman Fuller had the second on that. Any discussion before we put that to a vote?
Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to draft a letter.
Excellent. Thank you, Councilman. I appreciate it. If you would send a draft of it to myself and council before it gets sent off, that would be outstanding. All right. Any other discussion on that topic? Hearing none, all in favor of sending a letter of support for Mr. Brian DeLeonardo, please signify with your thumbs up. Any opposition? I counted 6 thumbs. All right, and that is unanimous as well. With that, we're going to move into our council member reports. Let's begin. I'm trying to figure out what order I'm going to go in. We're going to start at the top. Councilman Vigliotti, you are up first, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Tonight I have the police departmental report for February 2021. The total number of dispatched or generated calls for service numbered 306. The total number of citations issued numbered 115. The total number of warnings issued numbered 147. The total adult arrests numbered 23, and the total juvenile arrests numbered 2. In terms of community outreach this month of the department, they are again hosting an intern from the Carroll County Career and Technology Center. Ms. Maria Mojica, who resides in Taneytown, started with them the first week in February and will continue with them for several months. Ms. Mojica is with them as a part of the criminal justice program at CCCTC. Of special note, Sergeant Jesse Castlar attended a strengthening leadership skills training on February 8th. As a side note for me, Mr. Mayor, I want to say that last week I had the privilege of sitting in on the virtual leadership panel for Black History Month, of which our Mayor Pro Tem Diane Foster was a participant. And it was it was a very enlightening, very engaging panel discussion about overcoming adversity and how improvements can be made in our county and in our communities. And I want to compliment Mayor Pro Tem Foster because, as always, I find her insightful. It was interesting to get to learn more about her in terms of her professional career and how she was able to advance despite challenges and obstacles that she did face. And I do want to say that, I walked away from, listening to all of the all 3 of the panelists. They were all excellent, with a sense of hope, with a sense that, there is a better sense of community that we will continue to improve. And that I do have, tremendous hope for the future, thanks to people like Mayor Pro Tem Foster. And as a final note this evening, I want to say that, again, as everybody knows, I'm participating in Relay for Life. And this year, Relay for Life is going to be in September. And as always, the city and the police department are going to be teaming up to do a team. And I am going to be pursuing every single one of you in the attempt to get you to sign up for the team again this year. So be on the lookout over the course of the next few months for incessant emails and encouragement from me to sign up. it is it's a really good cause, and given the state of the nation with the pandemic, it's especially important now that we pull together to help those who are in need of help because of the way that things have worked out. And even though a lot of the economy has been shut down and a lot of challenges have been thrown up against the American people in general, we can't stop. We have to continue to help people who do need it in whatever ways that we can, even if it's only donating $1 or some loose change. And again, that Taneytown continues to host, our local chapter of Relay for Life, I think, is a testament to the integrity of our community. And again, I'm going to be chasing all of you down to try to attempt to get you to sign up again this year. And Mr. Mayor, that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
All right, Councilman, thank you very much. We'll move into Councilman Hale. I see you're already unmuted. It's going to you.
Sorry with that. Thank you. Trigger finger. So the Parks Recs Easter egg hunt is going to be March 27th. Starting off, it's going to kick off at 1 p.m. Encourage people to get there a little bit earlier. There's going to be Easter egg basket raffles. Of course, our special guest, the Easter Bunny, will be there to take pictures with the kids spaced out in the gazebo. So that'd be nice. And look forward to that, a little bit of normalcy, getting back to normal. I hope it's nice, dry weather and more of the 70-degree variety. And, excited to announce that a number of the sports kicked off their seasons as far as they're practicing, they're getting the kids out of the house and on the move. And there's a lot of expectation that we're going to move into 2021 and get the world right again. I'm excited about that, really am. So, this year you're down at the park on Saturday. Check out the games. Through the week, ride by Roberts Mill, check them out. It's get out of the house, do something special, support these people. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Fuller, do you have anything for us this evening, ma'am?
Not a whole lot. I will mention that, and Jim, you'll have to correct me if I'm mistaken, but we had the final approval for Meads Crossing Phase 2B. Yes. And then we are working on a concept approval for Meadowbrook, part of them, for their final. And then the Sewell annexation is still working towards, getting that taken care of. But I think, and I'm just going to throw in there that I'm absolutely looking forward to the county moving back to 4 days a week at school. So yay for that.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. Mayor Pro Tem Foster, what do you have for us this evening?
First, I'd like to thank Councilman Vigliotti for his gracious comments about the panel that I took part in. And I'd like to add to that I'm very encouraged by, first of all, a large part of the audience were students at the college. And I'm encouraged by the fact that of the questions that they asked of us after the panel discussion. And I'm told that they hung around a bit afterwards and had further discussion about the things that we mentioned. So I was kind of encouraged by that because that's what the whole thing is about, getting the conversation going. On that same date, which was February the 25th, the MML board met and voted on the fall conference to be held. Let me see. They got so many dates here. Okay, it was canceled in 2020, so they were able to reschedule that for the next available date at the same rates, which is 2023. 2021 is in Turf Valley, 2022 is in Annapolis. So those dates were already set. So they were able to bump 20 over to, at the University of Maryland, over to 23 at the same rates. And we had a town hall meeting. This is over with. I understand that we participated in the Governor's Recognition Day for the citizens that were lost through COVID. I didn't get to see it, but hopefully we lit up City Hall amber, and we did some things in recognition of that. And we had the board also had a town hall with House of Delegates Adrian Jones and Senate President Ferguson. And they answered several questions about the pending legislation and the legislation that's passed. The good news with that, they weren't making any promises for anything, but that the budget didn't look as bad as they thought. And that's it.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Foster. We did light up City Hall as well as the police station with amber lights in recognition of the COVID victims and the pandemic as a whole. That was commemorating 1 year since the date of, I believe, the first case in the state. So that was done. I appreciate the efforts by city staff to make that happen. I think they did a wonderful job with that. So thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for bringing that to everyone's attention as well. Councilman Haynes, I believe you are final.
I am flattered that you saved the best for last, and I hate to disappoint.
By accident, I promise.
I hate to disappoint, but I don't really have anything to report this month. Fortunately, we have a cable commission meeting this Thursday, so next month I'll have hopefully something to say about that. But otherwise, that's all for me.
Very good. I appreciate that. I just have a couple items for you this evening. First off, I want to remind council and staff that the chapter meeting for the Carroll County MML is this Thursday evening. Of course, it is virtual. I sent the link earlier today. If you did not receive it, let me know. I can send it again. This will be more or less our main business meeting where we elect the new chapter board for the upcoming year. So if you're able to attend, I encourage you to do so. Hopefully in the near future, we can get back to have our chapter dinners, which are so much nicer to be able to talk to everybody and really network better in that way. Legislative committee, very short meeting this past Wednesday. A lot of the bills that were starting to make their way through just seem to have been dropped. They think as they get closer to the end, they're starting to realize they just want to, get through these final bills and be done with it. Nothing real dangerous on the horizon at this point. There are a couple of bills that are being watched closely. Our next legislative committee meeting is Wednesday morning. So if anything pops up out of that as we get near the end, I may email you and let you know if there's anything that we're requesting regarding contacting delegates or senators for our district. We'll see as we get down to crunch time what's popping up on us. This past Friday, the YML, the Young Municipal Leader kind of subgroup from MML, held their first Friday Flash Focus, is what we're calling that. The one for this past Friday was about conflict resolution. And they had a group from Prince George's County that came in, and they're professional mediators. And so they were using the opportunity to talk to young municipal leaders about resolving conflicts, how to avoid conflicts, how to just better communicate overall. A lot of it talked about across generations, but even with your own generation, within your own political party. Obviously, we're all nonpartisan, but of course, as you know, that could always come into play as well. It was a really neat class, we'll say. I'm not sure what else to call it. If you're interested, especially the younger members here, let me know or let Caleb at MML know, and he can send you the link to the recording of it. But it was a very nice event. Young Municipal Leaders is really something we're focusing on this year in MML. I've been asked to be on the board for that. And we've tried to put together some really nice focus groups to get young municipal leaders a little more attuned to elected service and help bridge some of the gaps that are appearing. So that's all I have this evening. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. No one wants to go home. Got it.
That's right. So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
All right, Councilman Fuller had the motion, Mayor Pro Tem Foster had the second. If there is no one against, all in favor of adjourning the meeting, signify with your thumbs up. Any opposition? Very good. You're all free to go. I'll see you around. Good night.
Everybody have a good night.